Good afternoon. This is Will Cayeton from the Kentucky Valley Educational Cooperative, and we are live in Hazard, Kentucky from KVEX Professional Broadcasting Studio, The Holler, and I am joined by my distinguished guest and friend and colleague, Denny Paul May, who all of you know, our audience. This little video vignette is for teachers in the service region, and you all know Denny Paul very, very well. He has tremendous credibility given his experience and work in the region. So we're going to talk to you for a few minutes about transition opportunities moving forward, especially since it appears that the dominoes are beginning to fall and more schools are considering starting the year virtually. So what does that mean for us as it relates to transition opportunities for your students? We're going to visit that a little bit. And of course, Denny Paul is going to talk about some of his perspectives on supporting and helping. So I'm just going to hush for a moment and step aside and ask Denny Paul to talk a little bit about the opportunities that we have with transition opportunities for our students in the service region, which you've enjoyed for the past 3 years, moving forward into the upcoming year.
Thank you, Will. It's my pleasure to be here today. And I just want to start off by saying that indicator 13 and the transition requirements that are present in every IEP for every student that is 16 years of age and above is very important. And we have an audit process that the state requires compliance. We have been operating this way for many years, and indicator 13 and transition services are really meant to really impact the student and to help students with disabilities to have successful transition after high school. And so as we think about this in this context, now we have another variable thrown into the equation, in that we are trying to find out ways, or trying to come up with ways that will satisfy the requirements and also give students what they need in terms of these service activities along these indicator 13 requirements. And one of the big things is, when you're building that IEP, we want to have a robust transition plan for students with disabilities. And part of that robust plan has always included Will Cayeton and the services that he's been able to provide for the last several years, in that those services and activities support those goals that we set for these students. And without those, we kind of lose our way, and we're setting goals that we're not providing the support around if we do not provide the services. Now, the variable of providing this virtually has been introduced due to the times that we're living in. And so Will has worked very diligently and very hard to turn all of his services into services that are available to you in your classrooms, to each individual student and each individual teacher in the region. And those services can come right to your doorstep virtually. And we can continue to provide those robust plans that also meet the compliance requirements, and all the while we're doing what's right for students.
Appreciate that support and endorsement and the explanation surrounding indicator 13. And of course, the teachers appreciate this very much, but it never hurts to be reminded kindly about the opportunities that we have, that we've got such a good foundation. And of course, we've got this twist, meaning that we may very well be completely virtual as we start the year, and the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation has explicitly recently stated that although we have generated lots of wonderful virtual experiences, many of these pre-ETS video vignettes are self-paced. There's a little quiz, the students get a certificate, it's wonderful. I actually started building these out this past fall because my intention was a multimodal delivery of transition experiences, whether in or out of the classroom, because that's what students respond to. And you've had these experiences with me anyway, with the Oculus wireless headsets, and as we're moving forward with those techniques, we also are adding job simulations with the work-based learning experiences. I've been sending you these little promo videos just so you know what's coming as we move forward. But the twist right now is, if I don't have the opportunity to directly visit with students, albeit virtually, I don't get to count all the hard work that has been put into these virtual experiences. So in practice, what does that mean? It means that I am going to ask teachers to consider in their scheduling week to week, picking a day, picking a time where I can come into your classroom and lead a transition experience with your students. That's not going to be every week. I've got 15 school districts, 25 high schools, and there are middle schools that also want to participate. So it's not going to be every week, but I think we need to think seriously about very intentionally scheduling transition opportunities through my leadership on a given day and time, where I either come into your classroom through a Zoom webinar, a Zoom meeting, a Microsoft Meets, a Google Meets, whatever format your district and high school is using. I can adjust to that. But I think that's the only way to ensure that I consistently throughout the year, as we potentially only get to work with our students virtually, have the opportunity to share transition opportunities with students across the 5 pre-employment transition services areas. And that's career exploration, work-based learning experiences, post-secondary education counseling, workplace readiness training, soft skills, and self-advocacy. I have already built out over 30 videos of local experts, regional experts who have contributed their time and expertise to being on video. So I think you're really going to appreciate this, and it would be nice if we could just share that with students and not necessarily have to worry about channeling me in. But unfortunately, that's what the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation is going to require as their follow-up protocol. I've got to be live, albeit virtually, in your classroom, having some dialogue with students. So for example, what it would look like is on a scheduled day and time that you have picked on a topical area that you have chosen alongside your students, I would be scheduled, I would come in and introduce it. We would perhaps watch a video, a pre-ETS video. We'd have a little bit of dialogue, and that would be it. So in the virtual environment, that may be the best that we can do right now. My only fear is if we don't support this opportunity as required by the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. KVEC only has a 1-year contract. If we're not impacting students directly this year, albeit virtually live, then I fear that we will lose this opportunity moving forward. We don't know how long this pandemic is going to persist. So all of us have prepared for the possibility of working with our teachers and students virtually. Fortunately, KVAC is in a position of great strength given its experience and acumen digitally. that's the beauty of what we enjoy here at KVEC. And our teachers have had that same experience through the last number of years with the Race to the Top grant, the Rise to Deeper Learning initiative, et cetera, et cetera. So we can do this. We know how to do this. We just have to make sure that we intentionally schedule a little bit of time consistently throughout the year to channel in some transition experiences. Otherwise, they may very well disappear. And that would be a tragedy, because I honestly believe that the teachers I work with trust me, they have confidence in me, they appreciate my leadership, my time, my conscientiousness regarding their students' well-being. And I think the students have enjoyed our time together because they know that I'm authentic and I care about them being great today and every day.
You know, Will, if I may, I just think about the many experiences that we've had over the last few years. And one of the things I think has been key in my mind is getting students onto a college campus, letting them experience that day, seeing what it's like, kind of calming that anxiousness of a student as they move forward. One of the things I think back and I reflect back to my time as a coach and also to my time as a high school athlete, one of the things that really put me at ease was being able to go to the camps and go to the universities for the career days and things of that nature, so that when it was time to make that decision to whatever it might be, and there's so many opportunities at the college level now, and there's so many opportunities technically in so many ways. So I think the activities just lend itself to those robust plans that we're providing for students with disabilities. The plans are mandated, and we know that. Yet we want to focus not on the mandate, but on the good that comes from being able to provide these experiences. And we do not want to lose this for our region. So I urge you, I beg you, teachers, to please consider this and to allow Will some time with your students, because it will impact your plans. And, you know, as we face this virtual time in school, it's unprecedented, and we just have to work together to find our way. And I really feel like this is a step in the right direction in terms of continuing to provide students what they need, and to also provide them or provide teachers with that piece that helps them with compliance. So it's a twofold win-win situation in my mind, and one that I endorse heavily.
Well, we appreciate it very much. Denny, Paul, we have worked shoulder to shoulder together for a number of years. We'll continue to do so. And this may be a good place for us to wave goodbye at our teachers, albeit for today on this rainy, gloomy end of July day. But thank you for your expertise, Denny, Paul, your endorsement, your support, and all of your great leadership. And with that, we will holler at you later.